it's Haiti and I'm here with a video about behavioral interview questions. The purpose of behavioral interview questions is to give hiring managers and recruiters a sense of how the applicant will perform in certain work environments or positions. So the way that they do this is they ask applicants very specific questions about their personal lives as well as their previous work experiences. In this specific video, I'm going to mention some sample questions and answers that you can give for an interview that typically requires the applicant to have high communication and customer service skills. The first question is, how do you build rapport with others? So my typical answer would definitely start off with emphasizing that there is a difference between certain industries. Personally, I have insurance industry experience, but also retail industry experience. So it really depends on the position that you're applying for. But then I would go on to mention that it definitely takes someone with good listening skills to be able to understand that person and understand what their needs and desires are. So most people want to be helped, at least when it comes to customer service. So in order to build rapport with someone, you need to know who they are, how they are, what they're looking for, and then being able to use your knowledge, product knowledge, and any other services that you can provide so that it's easier for them to get what they need and they feel comfortable seeking to you for any guidance or advice. So the second question would be, how would you explain a complex idea or situation to a client who is already frustrated? So again, as I mentioned, listening is key. So definitely emphasize that you know that in order to explain something to someone in a calm way, you have to be able to first listen to them before you're able to respond with a more calmer demeanor. So personally, I am a visual learner / teacher, meaning that I like to use diagrams and outlines to best explain ideas and topics to people. So naturally, I'm the type of person to just pull a paper and pen and write down calculations or any diagrams to be able to fully explain to the customer as best as I can to explain what they need to know. I would love to say that I'm the best public communicator or speaker out there, but I'm not. I am definitely more comfortable writing out what I'm thinking. So it all depends on your personality. If you're easily able to explain things verbatim, then do that and mention that when it comes to being able to help people who are already frustrated in understanding things. So a classic customer service question that most of the time is asked is, how have you gone above and beyond to help a client? So in my personal experience, I believe it's best to mention the most recent way that I've been able to best help a customer, because it shows how often and how available I am to help others. Even if it's very simple, like selling a pair of jeans to someone at Macy's, compared to the best way that I helped someone out with maybe basically saving their life when it came to insurance, but maybe that happened like 5 years ago. So in a way, at least for me, I think it's better to portray my passion to help people in terms of explaining the most recent experience of customer service that I've given. And the last question is, talk about a successful presentation that you've given and why did it go so well? So I have never really worked at an associate level sales position. If I did work in sales, it was very entry level, and they never expected me to give very concrete sales presentation examples. They were fine with me being a student and mentioning any successful presentations that I gave during a class project or even in an on-campus school organization. So typically I looked for leadership positions on campus organizations so that I would be able to develop my public speaking skills. But with the previous answer that I gave regarding giving a presentation at on-campus organization, I was also able to tie in discreetly the leadership skills that I was able to develop during my time at the organization. So really, if there's a way that you can tie in your other skills that you've been able to develop into these previous questions, then you are set and you're golden. You're giving the interviewer more information about you that they probably would have never thought about asking in the first place, because again, they don't really know you that well. They only know what's on your one-page resume. So it's a good idea to kind of still keep your answers short, but not too long to the point where it's just too much information being bombarded at them. So for example, more recently, if someone were to ask me about a successful presentation, then I would mention the financial presentations that I've been able to give at my previous internship to be able to explain how I also have technical and financial skills that they probably wouldn't have even asked me about, because I'm most of the time applying to customer service and administrative positions. So those are just a few examples of typical behavioral interview questions that someone can ask during an interview. What I can do is also provide typical sample interview questions that were specifically asked to me regarding certain positions, maybe during my sales associate position at Macy's or at State Farm. But let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I'll see you in the next video.